Hey everyone, and welcome back to the next video in the bench build series. I didn't intend originally for this series to be so lengthy, but it's quite a lengthy process, so lots of videos. I mean, a good part is that you get a lot of information. You get to watch the whole thing come together from start to finish. Of course, it takes a while between videos, from start to finish to get the whole bench build. But once it's done, everybody from that point forward will be able to watch all of them right in a row if they wanted to. I don't know who'd be crazy enough to watch that much video on a bench build all at once, but whatever. So right now we are chopping. I just got done laying out the housing dados on the rear large apron, and so it's laid out and I'm ready to chop. This line right here is where the outer edge of the leg will sit. So it's 90 degrees to the top and bottom. This top line is obviously parallel to the top and bottom, and this inside line is tapered. So my leg is roughly 5 3/8 wide. So I went, well, I guess let's backtrack a little bit. Most aprons are only about 12 inches wide. Minus a 4-inch top, that gives you 8 inches of taper. So mine, this is 18 inches or so, so a little bit longer than twice the taper, or twice the length that I have to have tapered. So I just kept it easy, and I doubled the ratio. So for a 12-inch top with 8 inches of it being tapered, they use a 1/2-inch taper. So they put it at, say 5 inches for Paul's bench. It ended up being 5 inches at the bottom at the narrow side and 5.5 inches at the top. So mine, my legs are 5 3/8 wide, so, or an average. And so I put my first bottom line, the skinny side of the taper, 1 inch out from that. So that gives me 6 3/8. And then at the top is, instead of a 1/2 inch, I went to a 1-inch taper for the overall. So 6 3/8 and 7 3/8. On the other side, I'll do the half. I'll do a 1/2-inch taper, so it'll be 6 3/8 with a 1/2 inch on top of that. For the top mortise. So it'll just go 6 3/8 to 6 7/8. So right now we are at the point. I've already marked it, laid it out, marked it. You probably can't see this at all, but maybe you will, because I'll bring the computer down to the top when I start chopping. This thing does not want to follow the line. There's a knot in here too, a couple of little knots, a big knot, but this was these 8 inchers that I got. One of them was beautiful, the other one, it was full of knots, and they were loose knot, not tight knot. So they came out. So they're going at the bottom of my apron. I wanted to put it at the top, but it didn't end up that way. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and I'll bring you down. And hopefully that's good. Hopefully you can see everything. So right now I've got the knife wall marked on all three sides. And I also took my poor man's router and I set the depth at 5/8. I was going to go with a 1/2 inch, but 5/8 seemed better to me. And I just set it at 5/8, which is going to be the size of my wedge, the depth of my housing dado. And I ran a scribe mark across the bottom and marked it with a pencil so that I can see it better. Put that aside. And so it's got a mark. And so I'm just going to deepen this or set a little bit. On both sides. This is a very large apron. So this is I've never seen it done. I'm sure it's been done somewhere, but I've never seen it. So normally that's as wide as the apron goes, which is like my front. My front's even wider than this. Or my front is only half this width. It's wider than the normal, but not quite this wide. And we don't have to do that to the top because that's running with the grain, so it is what it is. Don't need to do that. Kind of funny doing it from this side. There's a knot. Ow! Well, I should have wore safety glasses. And the knot decided it wanted to come out too. Should have known that. The whole damn thing's going to pop clean. Eventually during this dado. And I could probably use a wider chisel and get this done a little faster, only this chisel was freshly sharpened, and so why not? Plus, it saves wear and tear on my sweetheart chisels. This is so big. Alright, so we got that one little section. Let me just kind of flick those out of the way. It's not a whole lot of flicking to do because I went kind of deep and I didn't go all the way up to the knife wall, so I don't want to go into the knife wall. But it at least is now relieved wood, solid wood on this side. So now I can go straight in. Straight in, and I can see how much we can get out just kind of going along with our. I'm going to cut those fibers away. That helped a little bit. And it's hard to see right this second because the light's on the wrong side, but so you can't do this right away because it'll want to drive your chisel in this way because there's too much wood here. But now that the wood is removed, there's somewhere for the chisel to go other than into your wall. Hey! Now I'm working on top of the bench, on top of the bench tops. This is very solid. Feels real good. I mean, I'm pounding right onto it, and the computer's sitting right on the bench, so that tells you something. And this is the apron. This isn't even the bench. Right. Now I can hit this with a shoulder plane when I'm done. Kind of square that up a little bit better. I'm pretty good now, but we'll be cleaning this up with our poor man's router once we get to that step. This really sucks not being on the right side. On the correct side. And our final depth here is, again, 5/8. 5/8 of an inch. So this one's going much easier. Trying not to sacrifice quality here for speed. I do want to get these done. The faster I can get these done, faster I can start gluing the top. I want to get at least one top glued tonight. That way I can stay kind of on track. I'd really love to be done with these dados by the end of the day and gluing the tops. I might even be able to Depends on how many clamps I have left as to whether I'll be able to glue both tops on at the same time. I probably won't do them both at the same time. But I still have to drill through the apron and the leg and run the bolt through there. Before I start doing gluing up the tops anyway. So we keep doing this over and over again. I'm going to go with a wider chisel. I wish I have another wider chisel here, but I'd have to sharpen it, and that's going to slow me down. Another wider chisel like the Buck Brothers, of the Buck Brothers. So and 5/8 inches deep. That's pretty much half of this board. A little less than half of this board. So trying to be careful right there because that's the edge. My top of my bear is going to sit in there. And this, taking as long as it does to even get to this point, I don't want to mess it up now. But it's going pretty quick, relatively. My shop brush. Now, in the Navy, we call these foxtails. Of course, this day and age, foxtails they use now, they're not foxtail. They don't look like this, but these are nice skinny ones. Oh, they're great for stuff like this. So now I gotta go back in and chop down and then go keep repeating this process over and over again until I get down to my depth, and then I'll just pare down. I'll pare down the housing dado, and hopefully it all fits together well. So everything so far has gone together pretty well, and I'm pleased with it, so I don't see this as being any different. So wish me luck, and maybe I'll do a little bit more filming later when I'm paring down the last dado housing, which hopefully is just in a few hours from now. Till then, friends and family, love you. Everyone else, see you in a few.